between the referees, whatever crew we have, and the Boston home crowd, and then what happened in Game 2. Tonight's game is going to be very intense.
But let's go to rainy Boston, which is where Windy is taking cover, and he's live with us here getting set for tonight's game. How about the Draymond of it all, Windy?
Okay, Greeny, Ime Udoka played about 350 games in his career. How many technicals do you think he got?
Well, to hear him talk, you would think like 300. How many?
Six. He had six technicals his whole career. JJ is right about the impact that Draymond Green had with his physical defense. The little thing with Grant Williams and the little thing with Jaylen Brown had nothing to do with the outcome of Game 2. I would argue that the fact that he took 9 fewer shots and had 9 fewer misses in Game 2 than Game 1 was just as important as his defensive possessions. He was much smarter offensively in that game. So I would say that the technical fouls and stuff are overblown. The other thing I'm going to point out, we will know in about an hour who the crew chief is going to be. The NBA will announce it around 9 a.m. I expect it to be Scott Foster. Not because it has anything to do with what happened in Game 2, but Scott Foster typically officiates Game 3 of the finals, so they can bring him back in Game 6 or 7. And Sheriff Scott Foster will take control of this game early on and set the tone for how it's going to be called and how the physicality is going to be allowed.
What do you think of that? You just mentioned the officials, and Wendy had mentioned that on the phone to me this morning, that he expects Scott Foster to get this game. That if you know the NBA, you know he's one of those officials that, generally speaking, people know. What is your expectation for how that would impact tonight?
Well, I talked about this on Monday, actually, and I talked about the officiating in the NBA Finals. These guys are all veterans. These guys have all graded out the best of the best over the course of this season and last season and throughout the playoffs. They're going to have this game under control. They're going to make sure that this chippiness, or whatever you want to call it, with Draymond and the Celtics doesn't take away from the actual game.
But the fans are going to see. That's the thing, is that the fans are paying attention to all of this. And I've been at every home game that Boston has played for the last 2 rounds. The fans are going to be ready for this. They're going to be ready for him. Draymond's going to hear it tonight from the crowd. Yeah.
Well, he's absolutely going to hear it. And I said this yesterday. Draymond is a smart player.
Yeah.
He knows that this little storyline is on everyone's radar right now. He's not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize his availability in Game 3. I believe that. Now, that's not to say somebody from the Celtics, maybe a Grant Williams, doesn't try to engage him, but I expect Draymond to bring that same level of intensity and physicality, but not necessarily dirty play.
Wendy, give me a quick final word. Go.
Yeah, I think tonight it's more about the turnovers. Forget about the chippiness and the physicality and whatever. When the Celtics have 15 or fewer turnovers in the playoffs, they're 13-2. When they have more than 15 turnovers, they're 0-5. That's the game. That was the story of Game 2. It will probably be the story of Game 3.
Fair enough. And yet the screen says, should they try to bait Draymond Green into more technical fouls? And I'm here for it. All right, stick around. I'll see you